Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you are listening to the sound of my voice, then you're tuned in for another episode of Marking Out Amongst Friends, the podcast. I'm your boy Jay Reddy in the building, and I also have my wonderful co-host in the building, Mr. VIP. Say hi to the people.
It's Mr. VIP.
Also in the building, as always, we got the lovely lady, Great One. Go ahead and speak to the people. Tell me how you're doing.
Woo! I'm doing fabulous. How are y'all? Actually, take that back. I'm not fabulous. I'm glorious.
Simply, absolutely glorious. Oh, it feels good to be back. I feel like I haven't connected to you guys in a minute. We had a few technical difficulties last week that halted our podcast, and I do apologize for that. But we're back with a vengeance. You know, I'm feeling good. I might drop a couple of M-bombs like a Papa John's conference call, if you know what I mean. We got a fully stocked show for you tonight. We got We're going to talk about predictions for Extreme Rules this weekend, or lack of extremities, or lack of being extreme. We're going to talk about the staleness of match types, and how they affect a lot of the main card in the weekly shows that we have. And we're also going to discuss our wrestling fans' dicks. We'll go right into a lot of those topics. First and foremost, have you guys had a chance to look at the card that we have for WWE Extreme Rules this weekend?
Yeah, I've looked at most of it. It's could be exciting. A couple matches in there.
It just sounds so horrible to be. It's a pay per view that's Extreme Rules, and I don't feel like everybody is really excited about this whole pay per view. I don't think it's really that extreme.
I've never really liked the pay per view because not every match is extreme. So I'm like how you have it called Extreme Rules and only maybe two matches, or Extreme Rules and the rest of regular matches. So
I mean, you can't really be too extreme when everything is just a basic, plain match, and then, oh, okay, so we're going to throw in one of these matches or throw in one of those matches, but everything else is just going to be regular, simple, 10-minute time limit, count outs, rope breaks, boring, same old, same old, same old.
Yeah, I mean, y'all are absolutely right. I'm just looking down the card right now, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regular singles matches out of the 10 matches on the card have no stipulation. And out of those single matches, there are 1, 2, 3, 3 singles title matches out of all of those that have no stipulations at a Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So as I stated before, it's really not going to be that extreme at all. But nonetheless, there are a couple of matches on the card that I am looking forward to. I think that before I even say it, I think the one match that everybody's looking forward to is probably going to be the match of the night. I'm saying right now, Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins in this 30-minute Iron Man match is going to blow the roof off of the building. And I wouldn't be surprised if it starts the show.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, sometimes I hate matches like this kicking off the show because everybody is going to be like out of breath and it's just going to like suck all the energy out of the rest of the pay-per-view. In my opinion, I don't want this to start the show. I would much rather start off the show with the Carmella and Asuka with James Ellsworth in a shark cage to kick off the show, just because this one really doesn't have much appeal to me. So I'm thinking that should possibly kick off the show, start off with a women's match, then like to hype everybody back up about midway through the show, that's when you throw in the 30-minute Iron Man. But that's just my opinion.
So you mean to tell me, as far as we've come in this generation of wrestling, where women have main evented shows, you want to see the SmackDown Live women's title on the pre-show.
No, I did not say the pre-show. I said to kick off the show. I didn't say pre-show.
See, you gotta be specific when you say kickoff and WWE says kickoff. And,
I do apologize. I do apologize. To start the actual pay-per-view, I would like to see Carmella and Asuka starting the pay-per-view, not the kickoff, not going backwards in time to where we were getting 2-minute bikini matches. No, I'm not saying go backwards. I'm saying for them to lead the actual full pay-per-view first with a title match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's all I was saying.
Technically, all of it is on the pay-per-view. It's just part of the pre-show. And, it's all still Extreme Rules, or lack of. I'm just messing with you. But yeah, I think.
Sorry, no speak English.
But I think that just going off of WWE's pattern that they've been going lately, I think that they like to put their best foot forward and try to kick off shows with a lot of the best action or the strongest action, so to speak. So I'm predicting that'll probably be the first match on the main card of the night. I think that the pre-show will probably be New Day versus Sanity, which will be a shame because that'll probably be also one of the best matches on the card, and it's a tables match. What matches, other than that, or you can still mention that match as well, what matches are you guys looking forward to most of this pay-per-view, if we're going to pick any?
I think I'm definitely, just because of the feud that's been going, the Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns, I'm excited to see that. Of course, everybody's going to say the Iron Man. We've been waiting for Dolph to show how good he really is, and now they're finally giving him a chance again. But the Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley, I'm excited to see that one.
Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley, I didn't think I was going to hear that from anybody as the match that they were looking forward to. I want you to expound on that one before we move on to Lady Graydon. Expound on what makes this match between Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley one that you personally are looking forward to.
The whole lead up to it. I mean, Bobby and Roman have done some great talking. The way that they're changing Roman from being this cocky guy that I'm the boss, I'm the big dog, and like when he was doing the match against the Revival, he wouldn't tag Bobby in, and he's like, tag me in. He was like, no, I got this. And then Bobby got pissed off and left. That's that whole little I'm the big dog, everything that's going on between them two, and I really like the lead up, and I want to see something big happen with Bobby Lashley. So that's why I'm really excited about seeing Roman fight somebody he's never fought before. And hopefully we'll see how good Bobby is.
It's hard to find a match that Roman hasn't, or an opponent that he hasn't fought before. I'm not going to say this is one of the matches that I'm looking forward to most. I will, however, say that because they are going against each other, I am more interested in this match than I have been for either one of their singles matches in a couple of pay-per-views. That is
very
definitely
true.
fair. That's definitely fair. I'll go ahead and say that. I think personally, other than the 30-minute Iron Man match, which, indie fans are probably going to lose their shit over because they've been wanting to have 30-minute or hour-long now, Iron Man matches to draws, that they've been doing in the independent circuit for, the better part of a decade. They've been begging WWE to do this. So WWE is giving you what you want, and I hear nobody bringing this up like, oh my God, blah, 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 Dolph Ziggler, Seth freaking Rollins. I think, sometimes I just think, wrestling fans are full of it. But then again, you can't please wrestling fans. I'm going to go with the match that I'm looking forward to most. Another one that, most indie fans, even most WWE fans that have been looking forward to recently, Rusev Day is finally getting a title shot. I never thought that I would see the day that
Whoa,
Rusev
whoa,
would be in a
not the day. Rusev Day.
I never thought I would see the Rusev Day. I never thought that I would see the day that Rusev was in a singles match for the WWE Championship. Through all of the runs that he had, in the mid card, through the undefeated streak, through him taking out multiple former world champions when he had his first run with the United States title, taking out the likes of Jack Swagger, the likes of Mark Henry, taking out Big Show. Um, this is not a spot that I thought that I would ever see Rusev in. So, and then on top of that, he's probably been the most over guy on SmackDown for the better part of 6 months. So another thing that made me think that I would never see this match. It's just good to see a fresh face in that whole in the main event picture, and I think that's why I'm really looking forward to that match. Lady Great One, what about you? What's the matches that you're looking forward to on the card?
Well, obviously, of course, I'm going to agree with everybody else and say the 30-minute Iron Man. However, I don't know. I kind of am looking forward to seeing Kevin Owens getting tossed around like a little bug with Braun Strowman in a steel cage. I'm kind of feeling this match. I love the build to it. It has been like hilarious. Kevin Owens is doing what he does best, and that's being that little smart, that little snivelly, whiny heel that he does so well. And it's just been so funny, and I just love to see what is actually going to happen with them two being locked in a cage. I mean, every other match is, in my opinion, it looks good to me. I just didn't particularly like the order of matches that might possibly happen, but we'll see when Sunday comes. But this match just it's hilarious, and I want the hilarity there in the match, and it's going to deliver because Kevin Owens does it best when it comes to putting comedy in his matches without being like overly cheesy. And not only that, but the other match I'm looking forward to is the B team getting their opportunity. So, I mean, I think that this is great. The brother versus brother, I mean, even though they don't mention the fact that Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas are brothers, but just the B team coming out and mocking them all the time has been incredibly hilarious as well. So I'm looking forward to the B team showing what they can do on an actual pay-per-view and versus the leader of world. So those are two matches that I'm really looking forward to the most just because it's not the same people over and over again going against each other.
I will have to say that I am, at least I'm very excited to see the B team actually doing something. I mean, I've always liked Bo Dallas, never really liked Curtis Axel, but I've liked Bo Dallas, and at least to finally get to see him, at a pay-per-view. So I'm excited to see that. I would love for a turn and him and Bray would actually join together, but they got a pay-per-view match for the tag team titles. That's really big. So I am excited about that.
I can definitely agree with you on that. Just everybody involved in this match, besides Bray Wyatt, because we've seen Bray go to the mountaintop and seen him, descend from where he at one point was. But I mean,
to the House of Horrors.
Say what?
To the House of Horrors.
Yeah, from being on the mountaintop to the House of Garbage to being barely ever on TV to now being a tag team champion. Bray is one of those guys that he's pretty much money anywhere you put him, but he was never going to be the face of the franchise, so to speak. Love the character. He's really good in the ring, especially, I always like a hefty guy in the ring that can show off agility, being that I'm a pretty portly man myself.
Do you mean husky?
I like a husky brother to be in the ring a little bit.
Or maybe a husky hairy brother.
Quite possibly. You might even say I believe in the husky brothers out there. As a matter of fact, I think that this match may be just simply perfect. But no, I really the B team, much like Jinder Mahal, I think that's the comparison I'm going to make here. You have guys that have been floating around as jobbers, not being used much, and you give them TV time, outside of being, the Miz Taraj or lackeys, and they've made the best out of it. They're putting on grade A comedy every week, um, as well as the matches that they've been in have been pretty decent. So it just goes to show you that at any given time anybody can strike gold with the right gimmick, and I think that, like you said, it's just great to see those two guys standing on their own and being this high on the card. It's definitely something with those guys. Um, but I mean, after talking about all the matches that we're looking forward to, the matches that we'll think will be the best of the night, let's go down and just give some predictions on just a few. We'll start with the match that we are assuming is going to be the pre-show match here. The New Day versus Sanity in a tables match.
New Day.
What? First of all, this is a match that's caliber of being a main event in any federation that exists. This is a main event caliber.
Oh,
match.
by the way, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but it is confirmed that this is going to be on the kickoff show. They've already confirmed this. I just wanted to let you know that, sir.
Even worse. So this is going to be on the kickoff show before the actual main card starts, and this is a main event caliber match on any other promotion. It disgusts me. And, I'm usually the guy that will defend, WWE because, a lot of people do go overboard with, picking out every little thing that they hate. But this is really too damn good of a match to be on the pre-show. But that's neither here nor there.
Especially to be Sanity's pay-per-view debut on the main roster.
I mean,
and to be a stipulation match for Sanity's pay-per-view on the main roster, because this is a tables match and this is on a kickoff show. What's wrong there?
One of the few stipulation matches that they actually have on the card, period.
My point exactly.
Like, this is it hurts me to my core to see this being a pre-show match. But if I'm going to give my prediction on this one, I don't think that Sanity takes an L in their debut. I think the New Day is strong enough where they can take multiple losses and they're not going to really fall off the face of the mat. They are still huge fan favorites. They're still supremely over. I'm definitely going with Sanity in this one. As a matter of fact, I don't know if this is going to be elimination style. If it's elimination style, I think that Sanity is probably going to have Killian Dane as the last guy standing, or either Eric Young. I don't think anybody expects Alexander Wolf to be the savior of Sanity there. But if it's going to be elimination style, I see those as the last one of those is the last two standing, or if not both of them. If it's going to be the first to get put through a table, Kofi's going through a table, you guys. I mean, that's just how I feel. Kofi's going through a table. Kofi's the only one who's used to spots like that, and I think that's what's gonna happen on that one. Lady Grey One, how do you think that this match is gonna go? What's your prediction?
Well, to be totally honest with you, I'm going to have to go with you, Riddy. Sorry, Mr. VIP, but Sanity more than likely will not lose this match. I mean, to make your pay-per-view debut and lose, I mean, hell, even when Fandango started, he won his debut pay-per-view match against Chris Jericho. So I've got Sanity in this one, because you can't have a team destructive chaos and come out and lose their debut pay-per-view. Oh, wait, we did that already. Yeah, we did it a while back.
So, Mr. VIP, why do you think that the New Day is going to prevail in this one?
Wait a minute. I didn't say they were going to prevail. I just said New Day. I'm thinking.
Oh, my bad. I thought that was your prediction, sir.
No, I was just saying New Day. No, definitely Sanity's going to win. I think it's going to be Killian Dane is going to probably put Big E through the table. just to show how powerful he is, and or how powerful and athletic he is. Um, Killian Dane is going to show off in this match.
Absolutely, 100% agree. I mean, we've seen what he can do in NXT and multi-man matches. We've seen what he can do in singles matches. And I'm definitely thinking that he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the Braun Strowman of this new Wyatt family, so to speak.
He definitely showed improve when he was in the North American Classic or North American Championship, the NAC. He showed off in that match. Him, power versus power, with him and Lars Sullivan, he showed off there greatly. So I think that he definitely matched power for power with Big E quite nicely.
Go ahead and throw War Games out there as well. He showed.
I was about to say even more than that. War Games was Killian Dane all the way. He showed off the entire match.
Yeah, I think that was his coming out party right there.
Yeah.
On NXT television was that match. But I don't want to spend too much time on that one. That's going to be the pre-show. I think we're all in agreement saying that he's winning the debut match here. Next match, we're just going straight up the card. Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens in a steel cage match. Braun Strowman is right now hot. He's Mr. Money in the Bank, Mr. Monster in the Bank, so to speak. Kevin Owens, top 3 talent in the company in all aspects, probably the best all-around guy on the main roster right now. As far as just talent goes, as far as his talent on the microphone, and as far as his talent, in the ring, I think that he's definitely the number one guy that can do both. But, I mean, Mr. Monster in the Bank is Mr. Monster in the Bank for a reason, and you're trapped in a steel cage with him. So unless he does something to cheat or to escape this cage, if Sami Zayn just comes out of nowhere, and helps him out, I don't see him winning this match. So I'm going with Braun on this one. VIP, what's your pick on this one?
Even though Braun is my favorite, I think Kevin is going to win because he's going to find some way to escape. Braun's going to beat the hell out of him the entire match, and he's going to climb out. He's going to throw him through the cage. Something's going to happen to where he's going to get out of the cage before Braun will, because Braun isn't going to try to escape. He's just going to want to hurt him, and one of those times is going to be the way that he escapes. So I'm going to go with Kevin Owens.
I've got Kevin Owens on this one as well because of the fact that exactly the same things that you said. He's going to find some force of fashion to either sneak out the door, to go get thrown over the top, to get thrown through the cage. Something is going to cause him to win the match. But then again, Braun can just sure force win by straight pinfall. But I don't see him escaping the cage.
We could end up with something like we saw at the greatest Royal Rumble ever, with somebody getting tossed or thrown through the cage in that instance. I hope they don't do that finish again. But if they do, that's definitely something possible. Anything's possible with Braun Strowman in the ring. So you guys are going to go with Kevin Owens on this one?
Yes.
So y'all just going to leave me by myself picking Braun? That's all right. It's all right. It's all good. You ain't got to agree with me.
We agree to disagree, my brother.
It's all good. We'll move to the next match on the card. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin, Constable Corbin. If you know me, you don't even have to ask me who I think is going to win this match. On one hand, you got a guy who every time he's in a major pay-per-view, I always pick him. And then on the other guy in this match, I've expressed my distaste for him in the past, although he's very much so improved vastly. He is leaps and bounds ahead of where he started. I'm still going to go with Finn in this one. Singles match. No special.
Isn't it every single time you pick Finn Balor, he loses?
We ain't gonna talk about that though. We're just giving predictions. We're all here to have fun. Let's not go ahead and talk about people's winning and losing records and pay-per-view predictions.
I know, and I don't have the best record myself there. However, I'm just saying, like every time you pick Finn, he loses. But just because of the fact that this is a just kind of a back and forth, no stipulations involved sort of match, and since Constable Corbin has been on the rise, and Finn Balor's just kind of been there. No offense to Finn Balor, but until he brings out a demon, I don't see him winning too many more matches. So I'm gonna go with Corbin.
So are you saying that Finn Balor without the demon is just lackluster?
I'm saying that Finn Balor is good. He is a good character. He's good by himself. And the Balor Club is for everyone. But the Demon Club is exclusive, and there's only one member, and that's Finn Balor. So.
You know what that felt like? Well, I don't know if you know what that felt like. I know a lot of men know what this feeling feels like. You know when you try to talk with a hot girl and she says that, you're a nice guy and you're good and you're funny, but that's what that whole explanation felt like. The whole thing is like, you're good.
I see you as just a friend.
Nice guy. He's just a friend. You're my brother. Come on.
I can't see you as anything else.
I mean, the girls like the bad boys. I mean, come on now. We all have to go for the bad boy. And Constable Corbin is definitely working that suit. And that haircut works. That balding myth was the symbiote coming off the head. I mean, come on now. The baldness is different.
Did you just call it a symbiote?
I think that's the final straw that made him have to cut it after he saw that.
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious.
Strand of hair that broke the camel's back, you know what I'm saying?
But you know what? I will agree that the haircut definitely works for him. I think some of the other folks that we know that have been Baron Corbin fans for some reason since he started don't like it as much. But just from outsider looking in, being honest, is definitely a good look for him.
I've been a big Corbin fan. I think they just weren't doing much with him. At first, when I first saw the haircut, I was like, I didn't like it, but I've seen the talking he's doing now and the suits coming out with the vest and stuff. It's something different. He's finally getting over. He's finally, actually coming up with some great talking, and it looked like he's starting to get in his stride. He's more confident now. So I'm gonna say the Constable is gonna win this one.
All right, see, I'm starting to notice a pattern now. Like it's 2 matches in a row. I feel like I'm being ganged up on, like I'm being attacked here, like everybody's just picked the opposite of Jay Reddy Day. But it's all good though. When we revisit this next week and we talk about the matches, we'll talk about how right I was throughout the pay-per-view. They're just going to make it that much better.
That's not going to happen.
So the next match on the card, we got our first singles titles match coming up. We got the United States Championship, another singles match on the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. And it's a title match. Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Brother Negro.
Brother Nero. I was calling him Nero like before his mama called him Nero. But in this match, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. I think it'll be an okay match. Jeff hasn't really impressed me much since coming back. I know he has it in him. I think he's just going to take the right match. I don't think this is it. But I'm going to go with Shinsuke Nakamura on this one. Shinsuke's been taking a lot of L's. He's been eating a lot of L's, and he's a major player on SmackDown. He hasn't really had a title run on the main roster. And I think he was the first, or either he or Samoa Joe was the first 2-time NXT champion. So I think that he's long overdue for a title reign here. I'm going with Shinsuke Nakamura on this one.
How can you no speak English and have the United States Championship? But he's going to win one for the first time ever. So I'm going Nakamura.
Okay. I think Nakamura's going to win. I think it's going to be just because the fun they can have with him saying I can't speak English and he's the United States champion. I think they can play off of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll work with every time they ask him a question, he can, I speak no English. And they were like, but you're the United States champion. I speak no English. So
Yeah, I'm just.
I think they should, that could be something really fun to play with. And then, maybe they could have actually start a feud with him and Jeff instead of just, he was supposed to be having a fight and got bit by a dog, and now they're just going to have the match, but they really haven't even seen each other since.
So you're going with Shinsuke as well.
Nakamura, all the way.
All right, so we're all in agreement. So we got 2 matches that we're all in agreement for tonight. Next match on the card, another singles match. This one, heavy hitters in this one. Heavyweight brute strength versus heavyweight brute strength. Mixed with a little mixed martial arts in there. Mixed with a little Samoan dynasty. We got Roman Reigns, the big dog. Hoo-ah! Versus Bobby Lashley, the mixed martial artist himself.
Big Bobby Lashley.
Big, bald Bobby Bocce Lashley in this match. Who are you guys going to go with? Lady Great One, we're going to start with you. Who you got for this one?
Okay, you give me the hardest one to start with, of course. Yeah, I'm going to defer so I can gather my thoughts. So I'm going to defer to Mr. VIP here.
Okay. Well, I'm going to come with it. I think that Bobby Lashley's going to win. He's going to neuter the big dog. I think he's going to show really what he can do. And it's going to be a very hard-hitting match. But I think Bobby's going to come away with the win. I think they're trying to build for something with Bobby. Hopefully him and Brock, if Brock comes back anytime soon. But I think they want to have him as a major player. And if they do, they can't have him lose to Roman Reigns, or basically his second pay-per-view match. So I'm going with Big Bobby Lashley.
Let me just express my distaste for this match so far. And it has nothing to do with either one of the superstars involved. Because on paper, this should be a really good match. On paper. Specifically, since they have been the longest lasting feud besides the next match that we're getting into since last pay-per-view, which, they've been doing, pretty decent segments every week. I'm very distasted in this match just because it's a basic singles match with 2 of your biggest heavyweight stars in the company and an Extreme Rules pay-per-view. They could have at least made this a Falls Count Anywhere match. You make this a Falls Count Anywhere match. You get a couple of powerful spots. Somebody goes through an announce table. Somebody goes through the barricade. Somebody gets powerbombed or suplexed on some steps. Somebody gets thrown over the top rope. There's a lot of stuff that they could do in this match if there was a specialty stipulation. But being that this is a singles match, if they're not coming out hard hitting, I don't really want to see, Roman Reigns get his ass kicked, and try to pull the Cena versus, Bobby Lashley. And I don't want to see vice versa. I don't want to see Bobby Lashley get destroyed throughout the match and then come back and pull a comeback win. I want a competitive match in this match.
I would like to see, they just beat the hell out of each other, and, the ref, neither one of them are listening to the rules, and then all of a sudden they just throw the match out, and then, Kurt Angle comes out and is like, no. And then now this is a no disqualification match.
Oh, it's true. It's damn
just because neither one of them will listen to the rules. But I think because it's their first actual match against each other, a lot of times they don't like to make them specialty matches. But I think it should be a normal match at first. And since it's supposed to be so much hate and heated rivalry between them two, the ref can't control them. And, they trying to break them up. They could do the same thing like they did on Raw, and they were like, we can't even get the match started because they won't stop fighting And Kurt Angle's just let him go. No holds barred, falls count anywhere. Just fight. And then, they go at it. That would be something different.
Absolutely. But all in all, I think that Bobby Lashley, I'm thinking that he's going to take this one as well. I look at this as a number one contenders match, and I look at it like Bobby Lashley was signed to come and be a force in the heavyweight division. I think that this will lead to either right before SummerSlam or right after SummerSlam. I think this is going to end up leading to a Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley match. And, as luck would have it, we saw Brock Lesnar challenge the heavyweight champion of UFC, Daniel Cormier, this past weekend. So, that just...
Wait.
That did not...
He challenged Brock.
He challenged Brock.
Brock did challenge him.
But
yeah,
Brock pushed him around and told him that the whole heavyweight division was garbage.
Well,
so,
that's Brock.
It don't matter if you challenge Brock. Once he accepted, that means he challenged you. But yeah, I don't think that Bobby is losing this match. I think that they're gonna keep him high on the card. I think a loss to Roman Reigns this early kind of knocks Bobby's status down a little bit. But then again, if he loses to Roman Reigns, maybe we get Bobby Lashley pushed into heel Lashley a little bit. So I don't know, but I'm going to go with Lashley in this one. Lady Great One, have you had time to marinate in your thought process and see what's going to grace us with what you think is going to happen in this match?
Okay, now that I've sat and I've marinated a little bit and I'm pulled out and I've been sitting at room temperature for a couple minutes. On this match, I will have to say that they'll probably end up doing exactly what Dante was saying. Or sorry, Mr. VIP was saying. For those of you who don't know, that is Dante. But this match is going to be chaotic. It is going to be hard-hitting. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be either a double disqualification or something, and then they're going to have to regroup and do something else. Because
I would love to see some blood.
A first blood match? I don't think so. Not
a first blood. Just somebody need to be opened up.
Get busted open like a sack of potatoes.
With them two, somebody just needs to be busted open.
Well, with a botch or two by Lashley, that might happen a lot sooner than you think. But
he was just nervous. He's ready now.
But I'm going to have to agree there. I think the big dog can stand to take a loss in a high-end match like this, only to fuel the fire because he is the uncrowned champ. So I'm going to just go ahead and go with you guys and say Lashley as well, because they didn't throw him into the spotlight to kind of make this feud go a little bit longer, to keep Roman kind of away from everybody else, to keep Lashley away from everybody else, to not have another Lashley teaming up with Braun Strowman or anything like that. Let this feud continue. So something's going to happen to where this feud is going to continue. And this will probably be at SummerSlam if Brock so chooses not to show up like he's been known to do.
And I would like to see just how Roman reacts to, if he loses, what is he going to say then? You're supposed to be the big dog. You just lost. So you kept saying how Bobby wasn't there for 10 years. Bobby just proved that he was there. You wouldn't be the big dog. And I'd like to see what they would do with Roman after this.
Absolutely. Well, we got a lot left on the card, so we're going to move right along on this one. Next match on the card, first specialty match. Well, actually, the cage match was the first specialty match. But the next specialty match we have on the card, 30-minute Iron Man match. The indie special, the Big Mac of indie matches, so to speak. We're getting it live on a pay-per-view. First of all, I am so happy with this feud and the level of competition, the level of matches that they've been having just leading up to this pay-per-view. I'm very excited for this one. I think everybody's pretty much in agreement this is going to end up being the match of the night. I think it's going to be a lot of great spots, a lot of close falls. I think it's going to be a close tally with the number of pinfalls for each star. I am going to go with Dolph Ziggler retaining the title in this match, only because Drew McIntyre is out there with him. And Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler have a lot to handle with the rest of the roster outside this match. So I'm going with Dolph in this one.
I have to say, mainly because Drew was out there with them, and since they have been so unhappy with the back as well, just everything that you said was just like everything I was thinking when you even started talking about this match. And since Drew did earn the right to retain his status of ringside, because that was the stipulation for the main event on Raw this past week, was if Drew McIntyre lost, then he will be banned from ringside. And now that Dolph has Drew back in his corner, or remaining in his corner, should I say, I don't see why this match should technically be like the main event next to Rusev and AJ Styles. Of course, you gotta at least this time possibly have your actual only real champion there being the main event. But for some reason, I think that Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley is going to end up being the main event match. I don't know why I call it a gut feeling.
Okay. See, this is a hard one. I love, of course, I love Dolph Ziggler. I've been waiting for him to become the Dolph that made me fall in love with him. I love Drew McIntyre. This new McIntyre is amazing, and I can't wait. I really actually can't wait for them to split them up and he just go on his own and just see how big he can get. Because, I mean, every time he walks out, I'm just like, this guy needs to have a championship. He's amazing. I don't want him to completely keep interfering in the match. I just want to see them two just go at it. I think Dolph is going to win. I don't want, with Dolph finally rising, I don't want him to lose so quickly. We finally got to see the old Dolph, and I wanted to keep going. You know, Seth can lose. He's still going to come out as big as ever. But I think Dolph needs wins. You know, Dolph and Drew need wins to keep their characters going. So I'm going to go with Dolph Ziggler.
Okay. So I think we're all in agreement with the Dolphers in this one. Next match on the card, we got the return of Team Hell No challenging the Bludgeon Brothers for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I'm not really too big on Team Hell No returning. And the fact that they had to bring them back to go against the Bludgeon Brothers makes me think that they're about to make an abrupt end to the run from the Bludgeon Brothers, which has been lackluster anyway. I'm going to go with Team Hell No being the new tag team champions in this one.
God, I hope not. I'm going for the Bludgeon Brothers. It's good to finally see Harper and them actually doing something, actually being feared, actually beating up people instead of being just huge jobbers. Team Hell No, like you said earlier, they're great at talking, and it's really funny to see them talk. Nobody really wants to see Kane in the ring no more. And everybody wants to see Daniel Bryan by himself. So there's no reason why I want them to win the titles so that they would have to stay together any longer than they have to. So I'm saying no to Team Hell No.
Yes to
the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yes to Team Hell No. Lady Braylon, what you got?
No.
For me, it's a hell no. The Bludgeon Brothers will win this because of one simple thing. Miz has absolutely nothing to do right now at Extreme Rules. Miz is going to interfere. Miz is going to break up Team Hell No for their short-lived reunion. And so that way we can go ahead and jump right into SummerSlam with Daniel Bryan versus Miz. So there will not be a team Hell No tag team champions. There will be a awesome, awesome, awesome interference.
That's a good prediction. I can get with that. And you know what? I didn't even realize the Miz was not even on the card. That is a travesty to have a star of the caliber of the A-lister on the roster and not even have him featured on the pay-per-view. A
But he
travesty.
was in the commercial. He was in the commercial.
Next match on the card, we have the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Carmella, the champion, versus Asuka. James Ellsworth will be suspended above the ring in a shark cage. Yes, you are not hearing me wrong. James Ellsworth will be in a shark cage. They are doing this match again.
If there's one thing I can't stand, is James Ellsworth. If there's two things I can't stand, it's a shark cage. God, I hate this.
I feel like they made this match specifically to piss me off. I feel that way. Just specifically, they just somebody said in the boardroom, "Hey, we're gonna make this match. Jay Reddy's not gonna like it. It's gonna be gold." Book it.
The only other thing would make it any worse if they had something on a pole. Terrible match.
Are you saying that you don't want to see Carmella or Asuka on a pole?
I didn't say in the ring. I didn't say she couldn't be on a pole.
You said anything on a pole now. I mean, come on. You kind of left yourself wide open for that one.
You know what? This is a family show. I'm not going to say everything that came in my mind. We're very Christian on this show. Very reserved. I don't make dirty puns. But all jokes aside, there is no reason why Asuka should not win this match. But there's going to be James Ellsworth is going to come up with something. I wouldn't be surprised if he stripped naked like Enzo did when he was in the Shark.
Dude, just no. He's going to throw something in the ring. He's going to distract her somehow. The same way somebody always wins that match. And then she's going to win. It's terrible. I want him to leave again.
But you know what? This is the perfect heel as a female on SmackDown because it's something about that pairing with her and James Ellsworth. Mainly James Ellsworth, it just naturally makes you hate him. So because you hate him, you hate her by association. And that's exactly what you want from a heel. So
I like them two together. I just don't like the match because I know something always happens to they still somehow can get over. It never has actually stopped anybody from doing anything. If they would have came up with something else besides that for them two in a match, the lead up to it was good. Just another, they need to retire, ban that match from ever happening again.
Just throw that one in the archives. Don't book it anymore.
Yes.
But Carmella's winning this one.
I say the only way that Carmella wins is if she hits a moonwalk DDT.
I was waiting for somebody to bring that moonwalk DDT up.
If she hits that, that is the greatest move ever in wrestling history.
She needs to remain champion for another year if she hits that move.
If she hits that, she's my favorite wrestler of all time.
I mean, Mella is money, but
She is money.
But I just see this going in favor of Asuka because Asuka has not held a main roster title yet. This is her second one, and since James Ellsworth did get the better of her this time, in order to keep the feud going and keep Charlotte out of the title picture at the moment. But then again, Charlotte wasn't even on SmackDown, so okay. But that was a story. I was curious about that one.
She does need a win because after having this undefeated streak, now she's losing too much. So now the mystique of her, if she loses again, the entire streak doesn't mean anything because now she can lose to anybody.
Exactly.
I don't believe that at all. The only reason I don't believe that is that everybody knows how dangerous she is, and the losses that she's taken since she's been, since her undefeated streak was ended. She lost to Charlotte, which is possibly, the greatest, women's wrestler we've had in a few years, and definitely head and shoulders, the best that is on SmackDown right now.
Are
She
you
lost.
saying because she's taller than everybody else?
Well, probably a little. She is a little up there. She looks like she could, reach her hand up and, smack the sun. She's very tall. But that's one loss that Asuka took. The other losses that she's taken have all been tainted because of interference. And we know that everybody that Carmella is beating she's not beating them because she's better skilled than they are. So, Asuka can take a few losses. It's not going to hurt her career. It's not going to hurt her as, a performer. Half of the people didn't even know who, Kana was before she came to WWE as Asuka. I think that the streak boosted her. She's being mortalized now a little bit, and she'll have her time when she gets to run back to the top. Um, but I definitely think that Carmella is going to have a long run with this title just because they're looking for somebody that can be that major heel, that Alexa Bliss type character on SmackDown, so to speak. Next match on the card, the Raw Tag Team titles are up for grabs. We have the Deleters of Worlds, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus the B Team, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. As we mentioned earlier, I'm happy to see that this match is on the card, as high as on the card as it probably will be. Just to know where Axel and Bo came from, big jobbers. Specifically Curtis Axel, it seems like he's always had a tough run no matter what gimmick that he's been part of. He's had to be the Mega Powers with Damian Sandow. He's had to be, the bottom man on the totem pole with the Nexus. He might have been part of Core too. I don't remember him being part of the Core, but he could have been there. He had a failed run with Paul Heyman. As a single star. And then he was part of the Miz Taraj. He's really had it pretty bad since he's been on the main roster. So I'm really happy to see him, kind of finding his niche, so to speak. And I'm definitely rooting for the B Team in this one. However, I feel that Matt and Bray are going to keep the titles.
I will delete you in your comment and go with the B Team.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the leader of worlds, they're going to win. It's going to be they're almost going to get the championships. They're going to come so close, but Big Brother's going to make sure that little brother stays in his place.
Absolutely. I'm definitely interested in seeing that interaction. You know what? I'm going to do something I haven't done before. I'm going to renege on my comment.
Oh, he's a reneging.
I'm only going to renege on my comment or on my prediction here. After thinking about it, I'm going to go with the B Team as well because I just thought about something. We've been seeing this pair with Bray and Matt for a while, and they're destined to have a breakup just to feud again and for Bray Wyatt to go over. So I wouldn't be surprised if that were to happen after they lose the tag team titles here to the B Team. The B Team is going to be supremely over as tag team champions, and I think that eventually they're going to get fed to the Authors of Pain. So I'm going to go with the B Team winning this one and winning their first Raw tag team title.
Okay, so you had to come to my side of the ship for a change.
I had to think
instead of me jumping on yours.
Yeah, I had to think about, down the road what's best for business, as, my mentor, Hunter Hurst Helmsley, would say. And I think what's best for business is the B Team winning right now.
All right. Well, I'm glad somebody else sees it my way and had to actually come and join me instead of me joining them. So that makes me feel a little bit better about myself.
You will have to delete your comment.
Who's deleting anything? I'm not.
I don't understand what happened there.
Because I'm always siding with you. I can't be on my own 2 feet or something, Mr. VIP?
No.
Is that what you're trying to say?
No, because y'all are going against the deleter of worlds.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean they gotta break up sometime. Why not now?
I'm not saying that they're going to break up. I'm just saying, for the simple fact of the matter is, the B team is overdue. I mean, they've had nothing but like job success, so I think it's going to be a Cinderella story, and they're going to get a victory over them. That doesn't mean that the feud is going to end, and it doesn't mean that Matt and Bray aren't going to have another chance to redeem their titles. I mean, come on, you get a rematch. You lose, you get a rematch as a champion, unless your name is Finn Balor. Then, like, they just completely forget that you only won the title for one day and never lost it. You were forced to give it up. Or if you're Kevin Owens, for that matter, too.
We don't remember that.
That didn't happen. I don't think it did.
The Demon lost. So the Demon hasn't came back yet. So
yeah, when the Demon comes back, he'll get his title shot back. Next match on the card. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. This is an Extreme Rules match. A fucking stipulation match. We got one. We got one.
Here we go.
We got us
one. Let's get hardcore.
We finally got one. An Extreme Rules match. Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss.
With Ronda Rousey being ringside, mind you.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey says she's purchasing a ticket. She's blatantly taking the whole WrestleMania gimmick from Cena. Which I'm not mad at. She's new. Let her find her own way. But, you know, with her being out there, with her feuding with Alexa Bliss, I wouldn't be surprised at her causing Alexa Bliss this match and Nia Jax winning. Nia Jax was a face, and then she was a heel, and she's a face again. I've always loved Nia, and I thought that she was due for a long run with the title. I think I don't like the whole fact that Alexa Bliss jumped in, you know, that night. And I don't like the fact that they were pinning her having to lose to a rookie. I think that Nia Jax would deserve a win in this one. But honestly, if I'm going to go with my gut feeling, Alexa Bliss is going to retain.
There we go. Alexa Bliss is going to win, without a doubt. I love Nia, but Alexa's going to win just to put it in the face of the overhyped rookie so that they can continue on a feud with them two. I think Alexa's going to win. I think at some point Ronda's going to, jump over the barricade and try to interfere, but she's going to end up costing Nia the match.
And then she's going to get suspended for even longer. Long enough for, her to go accept that whole, UFC Hall of Fame thing.
She's already done that.
They already did the whole Hall of Fame speech and acceptance and everything?
I think so. She already they got a picture of her holding a statue or something, or a trophy.
Yeah, that's already done.
She's already done.
It's done.
It's already in there.
Well, you can keep her off TV a few more months if you really want to. Actually, you don't have a star that big and keep them off of TV. I think that, like you said, the feud will continue with both of them. So yeah, definitely, I'm agreeing on that one. Lady Great One, what you got?
I'm going to say, by way of, since there's also no interference, I wouldn't be surprised if Mickie James and Ronda Rousey end up getting into it.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Or Natalya as well. I wouldn't be surprised if a few other women who have nothing else to do don't jump in and interfere in this match as well, mainly because of who all can be there, or Shayna Baszler for that matter, because remember, she said that she had been watching people's backs, and there is no takeover event this time, so you never know what could happen in this match. But I'm going to go on a stretch and actually say that Alexa Bliss is going to win.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't as much as I love Nia, I just can't see her winning this match. I think they're pretty much. I really don't want to say this. If she's not done, if I don't think the WWE is done with Nia Jax, I think that she's gonna probably either they're gonna be done with her, or she's probably gonna end up being taken off TV for a while. And I think that's what probably would end up being best for her, is for them to take her off TV for a while. Let her train, do her thing, come back with a vengeance. But right now, it's too much spotlight on Ronda Rousey, and her spotlight is on Alexa Bliss, and I don't think there's going to be much more spotlight for anybody else in the women's division on Raw right now. We're not even getting Bayley versus Sasha Banks on the pay per view. Let that marinate.
Yeah.
Let that marinate. So I think that right now is not a good time to have Nia Jax in the spotlight. I think she probably does need to be taken off of TV for quite some time.
I don't think it's anything with her. I just think they don't have anything for her. Like, there's not really any opponents. I mean, she's beating everybody, or nobody really matters for her to fight. And if they're not having her fight Ronda, it's not really. I don't want to see her and Mickey, her and Natalia, her and anybody else. So unless they bring somebody up, something has to happen. They got to come up with something for Nia. Or like you said, take her off for a little while till they can.
Personally, I think that there's more competition for Nia on SmackDown, at least with Charlotte.
On SmackDown and NXT, I was just thinking in my mind, I
with
play
Charlotte,
I would
Bianca Belair.
Oh my God!
NXT. She goes to NXT and says, "You know what? I'm tired of you little UFC bitches taking my spotlight," and just whoops the hell out of Shayna Baszler.
Awesome. I don't think she's gonna whip the hell out of her, but it's gonna be a good match.
Oh, if she sneaks her like from behind and just attacks her.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that Shayna Baszler will be able to recover from the incident with such raw size and brute power. But moving right along, next match on the card, which should be the main event, but knowing WWE, they don't make the WWE title the main event. AJ Styles, the champion in a singles match versus Rusev Day. In this one, my heart is telling me that I want to go with Rusev, but AJ Styles is turning back to being the face of SmackDown again. Once again, we discussed last month, he's the new cover athlete for, WWE 2K19. And I just don't think that they're going to take the title off of him just yet. I think this was more so just to please Rusev fans, to tell them, hey, all right, we're putting your guy in a main event match. We're putting him in a title match. We're going to give him a couple of minutes to go at it, but we're still going to keep our same champion here.
Yeah, I believe the same. I mean, but it's still a good thing. Rusev is going to get, a title match. All he has to do is, just show off, do an incredible match. He may not win, but at least it puts him back up higher as a commodity, that if he can pull off a really good match against AJ, I just don't see, like you said, I don't see anybody beating AJ right now. AJ's a phenomenal champion. I mean, he's basically everything you would want out of a champion. So this is what we've been waiting on. I remember when I first saw AJ years ago, I said, this guy is amazing. If he ever came to WWE, he would be phenomenal. And getting to see him now, he can talk better. He's doing a great job. And Rusev is getting a good time to shine with an incredible champion. And I think it's going to be a better match than what people think it will be.
Okay. So I'm going to be the one who's odd man out yet again, and I'm going Rusev because of, once again, you got interference from Aiden English unless they throw out the match right there. But I think it might be Rusev Day for maybe just one day and then immediately lose it back. But I'm going Rusev.
Oh my God. I hope it's not he wins and then loses it. Um, like I said, I'm happy that we finally get, Rusev after everybody's been complaining about he's not getting any title shots, he's not getting anything, he's just jobbing out. That at least he's getting a chance to finally shine. He's finally in a main storyline, and I hope from here on, he gets to keep that main event level or at least upper mid card. But like I said, right now AJ is head and shoulders above the wet rest. I mean, you can't get no better than having AJ. I mean, he's phenomenal at everything, and you can't have a better champion. I seen on something that they said that Vince McMahon said that he wished he would have signed AJ 10 years ago. He's so happy with him being the champion.
Agreed.
Agreed. So I guess we're all going with AJ on this one.
No, I'm still sticking with Rusev.
Oh, you're going with the Rusev day. You're going to stick with the Rusev day on this one.
Yeah, just to be different.
You think Vince is going to pull the trigger on this one?
It'd be something fresh and keep this going a little bit longer. So, I didn't say he would actually take the title, but I'm saying he might win the match, but he won't win the title, if you know what I mean.
You mean by getting AJ disqualified?
Yeah. Aiden English turned his back on him and then have a feud with him.
But how can you have that at Extreme Rules, a disqualification?
Because it's not an Extreme Rules match. It's just a regular stipulation match. No stipulation.
At an Extreme Rules pay-per-view?
I
Who would have thought
know.
of that?
I know. Wow. Baffling.
Crazy.
Okay. So as a whole for this pay-per-view, on a scale from 1 to 10, what do you think that this pay-per-view is going to pull in?
Well, go ahead, sir.
Do we exclude the Iron Man? Because that's going to make it go a lot higher. Just with the basis of hoping that the Iron Man is everything we imagine it will be, I'm going to say 7.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say 8.5.
Ooh, you guys are going high. You guys are going high here. I am going to say, I'm going to go about a 6.5. I think that the 30-minute Iron match will probably carry the show. But I don't see it being a whole lot of other, 7. Well, I see a few 7s. I don't see, other than the world title match on SmackDown, I don't see a lot of other matches that are going to be of an 8 or higher. And on top of that, the only match that I think that could probably be on par with the 30-minute Iron Man match is going to be on the pre-show, so we can't even really count it.
I believe that something's going to happen with the Reigns and Lashley match, which is going to make this be a whole lot better than what people are expecting. So
Brock Lesnar going to come out there.
And it'll automatically be a 10 because, we hate Brock Lesnar. If Brock Lesnar's coming out, yay, the show just got better.
He's going to come out there and try to attack them, and then Braun Strowman going to come out there and cash it in.
That will make it a 10. I'm just saying.
If Braun Strowman cashes in, that's immediately adding on a 1.5 to whatever the show was before.
Exactly, which will be a 10 to me. Done.
Okay, factual. So we spoke a lot of the matches tonight, about distaste of being so many singles matches on the card at a stipulation pay-per-view or a specialty pay-per-view like Extreme Rules. Do you think the staleness of the match type really plays a role in how well the shows go?
It absolutely does. I mean, we have a match, I mean, a whole pay per view dedicated to nothing but Extreme Rules. We also have another one dedicated to tables, ladders, and chairs. Both of those, not every single match is one of those stipulation matches. At Extreme Rules, every match should have some form of stipulation. Be it, I mean, granted, I don't want to see a flag match, a pole match, or
Texas strap match.
yes, yes. I mean, some of those we can go ahead and bury. Just like you said, the shark cage match, shark tank match, whatever the world is called. Somebody suspended above the air. No, but still, we could be having ladder matches. We could be having falls count anywhere, tornado tags, at least no DQ, no holds barred, street fight, something. Give us something else, please, instead of just regular singles, no stipulation, at Extreme Rules. But it's at Extreme Rules pay per view or TLC, by the way. So I don't know.
I mean, you took the words out of my mouth as far as and specifically with the tornado tag. You know, I've been marinating on this one for a few weeks. The tornado tag is a simple match that they never take advantage of. And I don't know if it's maybe because they're scared that, people can't work an entire tag team match, in a tornado style, or, you can't really show one team dominate another in a tornado style match, which you could. But I really don't understand why a lot of tag matches are not tornado tag matches. Like, why is the Bludgeon Brothers versus Team Hell No not a tornado tag? How much better would that match be if we got to see nonstop action from Daniel Bryan in this matchup and for Kane to get a spot here or there, rather than actually having to physically watch Kane tag Daniel Bryan out of the match and having to suffer through the 5 or 10 minutes that he's going to be in the ring?
It would make it a world better. I mean, just a simple thing like a tornado tag would elevate, and even look at it from the other side as well. In Raw, having Bray and Matt versus Bo and Axel, them being in a tornado, or at least in an elimination style tag match, something like that, to where it ends up being a one-on-one, and then we get the brothers fighting each other back and forth for the remainder of the match. I mean, just eliminate, give us something else other than just the same old thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like you said, even if it's not a specialty match, if you just added an extra tweak to a normal match. I had told Jay Riddy earlier, I was like, we used to play, SmackDown, and we always did triple threat matches. Then we would do a 2 out of 3 falls triple threat match. That's just one little added thing. It could be a triple threat, but add 2 out of 3 falls to it, which adds a whole nother level to that match. Something. I mean, especially from week to week, you have a single match, a tag team match, single match, a tag team match, and the same format. The same format is on every match, every tag team match. One guy's going to get beat the hell out of. He's going to finally get the hot tag, and he's going to come in there and beat everybody up, and then they win the match. They need some kind of, it needs to be something different. They have to have something to where you get excited. I mean, when they brought back War Games, everybody was like, this is amazing. We haven't seen this match in years, and it's a really great match that everybody's excited for, and it was a great match. They need to bring something back that they haven't done, come up with some new concept, or just for the regular matches, have something that we don't see all the time. It's something to sprinkle a little bit of, you got your food, but sprinkle a little salt on it, add a little flavor to it, something that okay, this is these two fighting, but this adds a little extra. It's a 2 out of 3 falls. It's an Iron Man. Whatever it is, it's something different. And when you do that, don't do the same ones you always do.
I mean, a ladder match, for God's sakes. Like when we were talking about Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler's run, with Dolph Ziggler as the Intercontinental Champion, I just thought to myself, like, they could go old school with this because of how much they remind you of Shawn Michaels and, Diesel from back in the day. I could see Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler when they get ready to feud and break up. If Dolph Ziggler is still the Intercontinental Champion, them going at it in a ladder match, so to speak. Just a plain old, not a TLC match, a plain old one-on-one ladder match.
We haven't seen that in years.
Years. And that's all it is. It's a simple ladder match. Like you said, they brought back War Games. War Games, all they did was put 2 cages and 2 rings beside each other. But like you said, it's not changing the meat. You're just seasoning what you already have. And it just makes a world of differences to do something a little bit different from that. I mean, we don't have to see one-on-one and one-on-one and one-on-one and tag match and one-on-one. And then, here's a triple threat. And then another one-on-one. And then here's a special guest referee, and then another one-on-one. It's just like change it up just a little bit.
Especially if you're in a feud with somebody and you keep having one-on-one matches. I'm like, okay, you have a one-on-one match, the one person wins. Have another one-on-one match, the other person wins. Then we have a third one-on-one match. I'm like, you just had single matches over and over. Can y'all do something different? I mean, it's got to be something. I don't even like cage matches really anymore. There's nothing really spectacular that ever really happens with them that makes you like, I can't wait to see it. It's never nothing like it used to be. So it's always the same type of match when they do a cage. It's got to be, they got to come up with some new concept to where you can't, when you first heard of a TLC match and everybody was like, what is that? Everybody was excited when you first heard of Elimination Chamber. What is that? Something, they got to come up with something, or even if it's a one-on-one match, something new or something we haven't heard of in years, something that they have, they used to do a long time ago, haven't seen it, and they brung it back and made it new. But just one-on-one matches with the same people gets really boring, no matter how good the match could be.
I'm just waiting for something as simple as a submission match. When's the last time we saw a submission match?
When Chris Benoit was alive.
Exactly. Something that's just easy, simple. You got people who all you got to do is just make the other person tap out. We don't get a lot of I quit matches. We don't get a lot of we don't really get a lot of like last man standing matches. I'm glad that they finally did one with Nakamura and AJ at Money in the Bank.
But see, I didn't like that because they just did it to set up the whole double low blow finish. Like they didn't even do. I mean, they did some stuff. I ain't gonna lie, they did a lot of good stuff in that match. But it was just to set up the. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm talking about the wrong match. See, I'm ranting about the wrong match. The last man standing match was the last match that they had. I apologize. I'm all over the place right now. Don't mind me.
Okay, I was about to say, what are you talking about, sir? But
yeah, I was too.
I'm glad that you corrected yourself. But still, just like 2 out of 3 falls, that sometimes kind of gets redundant because one person gets a fall quick, the next person gets a fall quick, so then like you're fighting forever for that last fall.
Like I said, I do want a 2 out of 3, but like you said, I want them to change it up because, like you said, a lot of times what they'll do is one person get a quick fall the first time, and then somebody get another quick fall. I want them to have a 2 out of 3 falls where they're both. It takes them a while before they ever get the first fall, and you're just fighting to try to get their first fall, and then the other person, change it up. Even when they do have specialty matches, they do it the same way. I would like them to change that up too. But like I said, the Iron Man, I want to see how they do the Iron Man because most of the time in the Iron Man, either nobody pins anybody until like the last couple seconds, or you may have one person get a win, and then they get disqualified, and then the other person tries to fight back after that disqualification. So I want to see how they do this Iron Man. I would love for them to, just be going at it. I hate that it's 30 minutes because it feels like you could do so much more in an hour with them two than just 30 minutes, but I want to see what they can do. I want to see like the scorecard actually having, 2 to 3 falls, so that they're actually fighting for that last fall, or it's a couple seconds left, and they trying to get that last win in.
Yeah, and even with the, like, even if they don't do, the counters that they do for, the Iron Man matches, or the 2 out of 3 falls matches. I think Wayne mentioned one in a post on the Game Runners a couple weeks ago. Bring back the championship scramble, or the championship shuffle. When remember the match that they came up with, you get about 5 contenders, and whoever won last by the time the bell rings is the new champion.
Oh yeah.
That was actually a good concept that they haven't revisited since that year.
I mean, look how good the gauntlet match they had was. Something like that is good.
You don't have to make a new cage. You don't have to make another chamber. The chamber's good. The steel cage is good, but you don't always have to make something new for people to beat each other up with. A lot of times, you just need to change the type of match to change the rules on how you win a normal match that you usually have. Like all of this that you said, the submission match, the 2 out of 3 triple threat matches, things like that. It's just simple things that I feel like should be done, or that we all feel like should be done, that would help boost a lot of what's going on in the main roster right now.
Yes.
But even in that instance, I mean, somebody's going to complain at any point in time. I mean, we're wrestling fans. That's what wrestling fans do. You can't please everybody. Speaking of which, another topic that I wanted to touch on, another post that was made in the Game Runners a couple weeks ago that I really wanted to, talk about and spend just a little bit of time on. Do you think that fans' constant bitching, whining, and attempts to hijack shows are ruining wrestling as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This was something actually that touched me deep in my soul right there, because I had started to fall into that rhythm. I mean, I watch week in and week out as often as I can. I can't say that I've watched every single one, because I do work on Monday, so I tend to miss Raw at least the first couple hours of it almost every week. I'll get lucky if I can catch an hour. But I was starting to feel that way. I started to get jaded. I started to go through and look through the things on the dirt sheets, and then I realized one statement I made that was absolutely, completely just like horrendous, and then I had to stop and back myself up, like, wait a minute, what in the world are you talking about? You're a purist, you're a fan. Why in the world are you coming down so bad? And that match was with Alexa Bliss winning Money in the Bank.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
You said some hateful comments.
I said really. I stepped my foot in it, and I went in knee deep. I mean, I went there. But going back, rewatching everything, replaying everything over in my head, I became one of those people who was jaded. I'm like, well, why not this person? Well, I don't like this person. And then I'm like, wait, I'm doing the exact same thing that everybody else is doing, and it's jading me. And I couldn't appreciate it for what it was, because I'm starting to fall into the trolling aspect. And I ain't no troll. I don't look like one, and I damn sure ain't gonna be one.
True that.
I mean, I can be a bit of a troll at times. I like to troll people. I like to mess with people's emotions.
Yeah, but I got to the point where it was so bad that, I actually was almost at the point where I'm like, okay, well, I'm done with WWE. Almost. But then I had to bring myself back down to reality and start enjoying the product for what it is, because just because the person I don't want win, I'm going to sit up there and just blow it off completely without watching what's going to develop afterwards. And to be honest with you, only Alexa Bliss could call Ronda Rousey an overhyped rookie. Only Alexa Bliss could have done that. And just to see what she's doing with it, and to see, she's really, truly the one person who deserves to win it. Yes. So I say that, yes, the internet has really, really taken a lot of the fun out of wrestling. And these fans hijacking the shows and stuff like that has really, really distracted from what is a great quality product. All you got to do is just sit back and watch what's happening next. it's like a movie and somebody talking through the whole damn thing because they've already seen it and want to ruin it for everybody else. Let us
Exactly.
enjoy
That
it.
was my. You took the exact same scenario and the exact same analogy that I was just about to say. It's that person who sits in a movie or ruins it from everybody, or the another analogy that I want to use is that person that we all know that McDonald's is the biggest fast food company out there in America. It's like you going to eat at McDonald's every day and yelling out loud, telling everybody else who's trying to enjoy their meal, "Oh, this is trash. The Big Mac is trash. The nuggets are trash." And you just think to yourself, like, "Wow, well, if it's that bad, why are you still eating it? Like, why are you still spending your money and eating here every week?" You know. And then you have those other people who they'll say that, well, that's exactly why I don't watch WWE. Or even there, you got some people who say that they don't watch the main roster. I just watch NXT. I mean, you're still supporting WWE. You're still putting money in Vince's pocket, whether you're supporting the main roster, NXT, 205 Live, whatever. It's all Vince's money. So I mean, you're not a better or worse fan than anybody else in that instance. And I think that's what it is. I think that ends up being the difference between a mark and a smart, so to speak. Like those folks that they're wrestling snobs so much. They got to tell everybody how better their opinion of wrestling is. How better their insight is than everybody else. And that's what, like Toya said, when you start to get jaded, that's that type of fan you turn into. And me personally, like when I feel myself getting to that point, sometimes I mean you really just have to back up and just not watch, or if you do watch, not watch and go on the internet and comment while you're watching. Like sometimes you just gotta turn your laptop off and watch it and not tell anybody, or turn your laptop off and not watch it and not tell anybody. So to speak,
Very
that's just my
true.
personal opinion.
That's how I do it. I think what has happened is the internet has ruined wrestling. The internet has given a lot of insight that people before didn't know, and now everybody thinks they know everything. Now, if somebody loses, there's a backstage story for why that person lost.
Oh, they're getting buried. If it's
They're
a
getting,
guy you like and they take a loss, oh, he's buried. I'm like, he
yeah,
lost one match.
like I said, it's you gotta, like I said, of course there's gonna be things you didn't like, there's gonna be things you do like. I mean, but to say that like what happened with Rusev, when Rusev was fighting the Undertaker at the greatest Royal Rumble, everybody was saying, "Oh, he's gonna bury him, he's gonna bury him, he's gonna bury him."
Literally.
But they had a great match, and Rusev had a really good match against him. And he got to fight the Undertaker. I don't think in Rusev's mind he was in a bad spot. He wasn't in the 50 man or however many men was in the Royal Rumble. He wasn't one of those men that's gonna get thrown out in 2 seconds. He was in a singles match against the Undertaker. Not that many people are gonna be in a singles match with Undertaker for far too much longer. So I think he's very happy to get that spot. And now look where he's at. But before he's going to fight the Undertaker, he's going to get buried. He's going to get buried.
Remember, they did pull him from that match. People were complaining so much that they pulled him from the match, put Jericho in the spot, and then decided, no, we're going to throw Rusev back in there.
And I think
he was pulled.
I
bet you. I was about to say, I think they were just playing with people just to mess with him. To be like, oh, he's going to get the spot. No, you were whining about him getting buried, so we'll just take him out of it. Now you're whining because he's not in the match. What do you want? That's the thing that's going on. Now, when they give you what you want, you don't want it. There's so much. Just sit back and watch it. The comment that people be making of Roman Reigns, oh, they shove him down our throats. Every time. Same thing with Cena, they shove him down our throats. But who is your favorite wrestler? Well, Stone Cold. So your favorite wrestler is Stone Cold, who back in the day in the Attitude Era, he would come out 50 times in a night in a 2-hour show. He would talk for an hour. He would come out and beat up everybody, and then still at the end of the show, he would still come out again. But they wasn't shoving him down your throat. Oh, we liked him, so now it's different.
The same thing with The Rock. The Rock could come out there. He's got a segment where he's talking about the match that he's going to have later that night. Then he's got a backstage interview where he's getting interviewed about the match that he's going to have that night. Then he actually has the match, and then something happens for that to spill over into the next show. But Roman Reigns is just simply having a match. Not even a world title match. He's just having a match with Bobby Lashley. Oh, my goodness. I'm tired of seeing Roman Reigns on TV. Like, so he's being shoved down your throat just because he's on TV? Because he's on the show?
Like I said, that's back in the day. I'm like, they did the same thing in the Attitude Era that everybody loves. They did the same stuff. It's just now it's different. Now that everybody has the internet and they can talk to everybody, now they have an opinion all the time. And it's the same stuff that we already been seeing. If Roman Reigns talks for 5 seconds, it's the worst show ever. What do you think they're gonna do? Do you think they're gonna fire him? No, they're not. Get over it. You booed Cena for years. Did that change his spot in the company? No. So for you to do the same thing with Roman, it's not going to change. He's still you booing him louder than everybody else. He's still the top guy. Then you boo him, but everybody's like, "Oh, he's not the top guy." But you booing him louder than you're cheering the other people, so he is the top guy. Cheering or booing, he's the top guy. People are now just, oh, we hate this, we hate this, we hate this. What do you like? Well, I didn't like nothing. It was a terrible show. It was garbage. Then don't watch it then. 205. Well, they ain't got nobody telling. Have you watched it? They've been having incredible matches. Yes, they might not have big name people, or they might not have people that everybody knows, or the people might not have as much charisma, but they're having incredible matches. NXT everybody loves because it's people from the indies that everybody already knows, and they just love them because they're indie stars, and everybody loves the indie stars, which pretty much almost every wrestler is, except for one or two.
Look, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you get back to your rant because you going in right now, and I don't want you to stop your moment. I want you to keep the same energy for a second. But take a look how people talk about 205 Live now versus 6 months ago, when the same smarks who are telling you that you're supposed to watch 205 Live now, they weren't watching before. They didn't know that Rockstar Spud was coming. They didn't know that certain superstars were going. You know, they weren't watching. And now because there's been a number of great matches that have been, put on by the likes of Mustafa Ali, Buddy Murphy, Cedric Alexander, those same ones will now be telling everybody, oh, you guys aren't wrestling fans. Y'all don't watch 205 Live. You weren't watching 205 6 months ago. You just hopped on the train. That's the type of internet fan that I can't stand. So
it's true. That is so true.
But go ahead. Yes. Finish your rant.
But like I said, like you said, I watched 205 from the beginning. If you're a wrestling fan, you're going to watch it no matter what. You want to see it. You want to see the show be good. You might not like everything on it, but you want to see it succeed. You want to see the best matches you can see. But everybody complain, oh, none of these people have any charisma. We don't know who these people are. Learn about these people. They had great talent back then. Learn some of them. Yes, they were trying to grow the show, so it's not going to be the perfect show when they first started, but they're getting better. It's putting on better matches. They're having great feuds now. You're starting to find out who Mustafa Ali is. He's starting to get some more character. Buddy Murphy is starting to get a lot more character. We're starting to get some stars now, and instead of just using people that came from the main roster, just went down. Now you're starting to get other stars. But there's so many people that complain about so much stuff instead of just sitting back and relaxing and watching it. You hate Roman Reigns so much that you can't. If he comes on the show, it is the worst show ever because he walked on the show. Boo the hell out of him. You can't give a real reason why. They shove him down their throats. You say that about every main star, but he's only been on. He's on one match, but he's getting shoved down your throats. He had one match. He came out, fought the match, went to the back. That's it. We saw Kevin Owens more times. How many times we see Kevin Owens on Raw last week? We saw him a bunch of times, but we don't hear they're shoving Kevin Owens down our throat. But we saw Kevin Owens more than we saw Roman Reigns.
No, it's because he's not Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns can, like you said, do exactly the same thing. Daniel Bryan occupied Raw.
Yes.
He literally occupied Raw. Nobody complained about that.
Yep.
CM Punk occupied Raw. He sat his down in the ring on the stage. Nobody complained about that. CM Punk wasn't shoved down your throats. Daniel Bryan still isn't shoved down our throats. But yet these two guys hijacked the show, literally.
CM Punk wasn't shoved down the throat, but he won like every title in like a couple years. Quickly. Won the Money in the Bank twice. But he wasn't shoved down your throat, right? No. But other people, Roman Reigns is, John Cena is.
And how long has it been since Roman Reigns has been champion, actually?
Oh, no, he's the top guy.
He's the
top guy. He wins the title all the time. He's the top guy. He's won the title. Well, think how long has it been? Well, oh, shoot, it's been like a couple years. No, he's the top guy, right? He's the big dog. He wins everything. He's always main eventing. He's always got the title, but he don't have the title. Hasn't had the title. 400 and some days, he hasn't even won the Universal title. But he's the top dog, right? He always is getting everything handed to him.
And even with the whole thing with Brock, and I'll give Brock hell all the time, but everybody's saying, "Oh, Brock, they only gave Brock the title so long to stick it to CM Punk." Brock is a money maker. Brock is a big signee. Of course, they want him to boost the title. The Universal title is a new title, so this doesn't even affect CM Punk's reign. If that's the case, you should be mad at the Bruiserweight, because the Bruiserweight is about to break that record too. On the low, the Bruiserweight has been the champion for at least 300 days now.
I think it's 415, I think.
415? So yeah, he's going to break CM Punk's modern day record too. Does anybody care about that? No, because he's not the guy that you're supposed to hate.
But see, the thing,
he's not Roman Reigns.
Yeah. But see, the thing about Brock is everybody continuously said that he's about to break the record. He's about to break the record. He's about to break the record. WWE has even said themselves he is the longest reigning Universal Champion. They did not say he is the longest reigning WWE champion. They said he is the longest reigning Universal Champion. So the title that CM Punk had is not the title that Brock has.
Exactly.
WWE has even said it. He's got the Universal Championship the longest. He hasn't broke CM Punk's record. But everybody wants to keep saying it.
AJ Styles could possibly be the one to do that, and I don't think anybody will complain about that.
Oh, nobody will bat an eye.
Nobody will say nothing about that. But they, like I said, they said that they want him to hold it for a while. But you're saying that the record is going to get beat no matter what. Somebody's going to beat it one day, and he's just the longest reigning champion of the modern era. He's not the longest reigning champion of all time. So his record will still get beat. And who cares? Because he doesn't care about wrestling no more. So why don't we care if his record gets beat? Everybody
goes back to the whole fans chanting CM Punk, hijacking the show.
They want to say that CM Punk's record is going to get beat. He doesn't even care about it anymore. And then they want to say that they're doing this just to stuff it in CM Punk's face. Vince couldn't care less. Do you know how many wrestlers have left the company mad at him? Do you think CM Punk is any different from the hundreds of other wrestlers who left that company mad at him? He don't care. He is not having Brock hold that title so that he can beat CM Punk's record. Oh my God, look, he just beat CM Punk's record. He probably doesn't even remember who CM Punk is anymore. It is because Brock is a big time sign. He is a moneymaker, and he is a special attraction. A lot of people don't understand. He is a special attraction. He is not going to be on every show. He is. They don't have that many special attractions anymore. He is what The Undertaker is. When he shows up, it's a big deal because he's not going to show up every day. He's not going to show up every week. He's only going to show up once in a while. They don't have that many people like that anymore. The Undertaker is starting to show up once in a while, but he's not going to show up that much. Triple H is a special attraction. He's only going to wrestle once a year, maybe.
Cena is now too.
Cena is a special attraction. So there's not that many people.
I was going to say, you still haven't mentioned the most important thing about Brock being champion. What that does is legitimize the the Universal title. And
Yes.
it is going to be a meteoric push when whoever defeats him for the title beats him for the title.
Thank you. And nobody gets that. Nobody gets what they're doing. If this person has held this title for this long, this person is unstoppable. This person is undefeatable. And when the person who beats him, how big is that person going to be when they beat him? You ask yourself, how big was Brock before the streak, and how big is he now after the streak? He has been unstoppable since he beat the Undertaker streak, which he should be. If he beat the streak, he should be unstoppable. He has done exactly what they should have did with him when he won with the streak. Unstoppable. So whoever beats him is going to be like, oh man, this guy beat Brock. It's going to come to a point where nobody's going to believe that anybody can beat him. And
technically, I gotta throw this in there. Technically, Roman Reigns did beat him in that steel cage match at Greatest Royal Rumble, but the refs changed it. So technically, he did lose since then.
He technically lost, but it was a specialty match too. It wasn't. It's still. He might have lost in that way, but it was a fluke way. He never lost one-on-one to him. Now
I know. I just wanted to put that out there. That's all.
Yeah, the way he lost makes it so that Roman's like, I did beat him. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. My feet was on the floor first, which causes controversy, but still keeps Brock unstoppable because he's still the unstoppable force. But you won in a different way, but you didn't get the title. But when it's a one-on-one match and somebody can pin him, it's going to be huge because that person beat Brock one-on-one, face-to-face, toe-to-toe, and he beat Brock. And that person is going to be huge whenever it happens. But everybody wants to whine and complain that, oh, well, he's not on there. Well, why he's not on there? Seth Rollins is the main event. Why he's not on there? Braun Strowman is the main event. Elias is the main event. While he's not there, all these other mid-card people who are not in going for the world title right now, they are the main events of Raw. They're the main events of the pay-per-view. So it's not like when he's there, you complain that a part-timer is taking the spot of the people that are there all the time. But he's not there, then you complain that he's not there. Now you complain he's not there, which when he would be there, he's taking the spot of the people who are always there. So let him be gone for a while and let all these other people who are full-timers get the main event spot. Seth Rollins is now all of a sudden getting this, he's starting to build back up. We're starting to remember who Seth Rollins is. So when Brock comes back, bam, we got Seth Rollins. His fans are huge. When he comes out, the Burn It Down is loud as heck. They're now building him as a main event star again. Brock comes back, he challenges him. If Seth Rollins beats Brock one-on-one, not like he did at the WrestleMania by pinning Roman, but he beats Brock Lesnar one-on-one. How huge, how amazing is Seth Rollins that he just beat Brock Lesnar?
And then turns around and get cashed in on by Braun.
Yes, he's gonna get cashed in on by Braun, but at least he beat Brock.
Major pops all around. And don't get it confused with people that are listening out there. You can like and not like whoever the hell you want to. Lord knows we all have people that we like, we love, and we have people that we absolutely hate for one reason or another. You know, Mr. VIP will admit to you, like, the one wrestler that I've always said, like, that I hated, that I've never liked, was Christian. And it's not that Christian was terrible. It's just that he didn't appeal to me or my style of, wrestling that I like.
Very true.
The same way with Baron Corbin for you now.
Yeah, I would rather watch Baron Corbin than I would Christian. But the thing about it is, and then there's people that I've liked, just for some reason, whether it's nostalgia or whether it's, just the reason for, they wrestle my style of wrestling, that, that Mr. VIP didn't understand how I like, such as Brutus the Barber Beefcake. We've
There
thought
is
about
no way you could actually like
We've
him.
probably been going back and forth in this argument for like a decade. But he still does not believe that I like Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I like the character. I thought the character was very different. It was innovative. It hasn't been done since. He's the only person that can pull it off.
Because he cuts hair.
He's the
Why
only
would it be
person that
done
can-
again? He
I mean,
cuts
we can't
hair.
say that that's a stupid gimmick when we had people wearing chains, calling themselves the Junkyard Dog, and that was great. But I'm a barber and I have my own set, and that's dumb. So I'm just saying, like, you know, I mean, people are gonna like and dislike who you want to like, and that makes it fun. That makes you different. But I just don't like snobs who think, you know, that they're purist or better, you know, than what other people think, you know,
Or just hate everything that everybody likes.
Yeah, just hate everything that's
pure
not
everything.
main or main event that everybody else likes, so to speak. Anything that
Because
women
New
shows
Japan is
like,
so much better than everything else. Everybody on New Japan is way, way better than everybody could ever be in the WWE.
oh,
Because
if
Dave
you're
Meltzer
in New
says it's so it has to be true.
New Japan,
Right?
Ring of Honor, oh my God, TNA. Well, I don't even know about TNA anymore. I don't think we can throw that category in there.
No.
Lucha Underground. You know, all of these other shows that are going on out there. Everybody says, "Oh, these are guys that would watch WWE," but at the same time, let a WWE superstar right now become a free agent, and all three of those companies are going to be knocking. Probably not New Japan, but Ring of Honor is knocking on the first week started league.
New Japan is too. That's why Cody's over there.
No, don't forget, Big Cass was TNA.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, the Bullet Club is in like 4 different federations.
Oh my God, Big Cass is still wrestling.
Yes, I mean, you know, Big Cass after 3 months, he'll get a call from, you know, Impact Wrestling. You'll see Big Cass versus Moose. You know, at some
Big Mass. It's gonna be Big Mass. Can't call him Cass. Big Mass.
But
Big Trash.
Big Trash.
Well, I think this was a very hot topic. I think that we got a lot to say on this topic, and I think we'll probably revisit some of this in the future because we are definitely all passionate about that whole fanship thing. But we're going to go ahead and jump into our final thoughts of the night. Lady Great One, you got a final thought for us that you said you guys were just talking about yesterday?
Yes, my final thought comes back to the viewership. I was made aware that this last Raw has been the lowest rated Raw in history. I don't know. There's no football. The draft is over. I don't even think the World Cup even had a match. But it was yet the lowest rated Raw in history. I'm curious as to why. Because we've got a pay-per-view coming up, and this was the go-home show, and you had Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley like cementing more in their feud. You had an incredible main event with Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, and if Seth Rollins were to win, and Drew McIntyre would be banned from ringside in the Iron Man match. I mean, come on. It's not like we didn't have a great showing from Liv Morgan and Ember Moon for the second time. I'm just confused at why the viewership was so low. There's nothing that they can do more to show that you don't need Brock all the time to have a great show. And I think, once again, fans have become so jaded and so snarky that they can't even afford to enjoy a good show when it's put right there in their lap because Dave Meltzer says it's not a good show. And that's my final thought.
All right, Mr. VIP, take us out with a final thought.
Yes. Okay. A couple weeks ago, I was not able to be on the show, and it was during the time that Vader passed. And I wanted to, give my thoughts on Vader and my tribute to him. Growing up, as a young fan, as your favorite wrestler being Sting, Vader was the one person that made you think that Sting couldn't beat him. He was big, he was scary, he was athletic. I mean, as a little kid, he was like the scariest person you had ever seen. And growing up, I mostly watched WCW when I was younger. So, he was amazing. I was hated him. I booed him. I'm like, somebody has to help Sting because I don't think he can beat him. Nobody can stop Vader. Um, and just to hear of his passing, he was really one of the first heels, the first bad guys that I just hated and I was scared of as a little kid. And then when I got older, I was like, I just came to love him. He was one of my favorite wrestlers. He was one of my favorite heels. He was everything that every time I seen another big man wrestle, I'm like, this is who they should be. This is who Mark Henry needs to look at shows of. This is who this person needs to look at shows of. This is who this person needs to be like. All of these people, all of these people um, made me want to show tribute to Vader. So I want to say rest in peace to Leon White. Rest in peace to Vader.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Definitely one of my favorites when I was a kid as well. I got kind of almost teary eyed talking about it on a couple of weeks on the show. Definitely a big one. Uh, for me personally, my final thought is going to be not really a final thought. It's just to kind of prepare a lot of our fans for season one, the ending of season one coming soon. Marking Out Amongst Friends has been a great run with the podcast. I love it. I started the podcast last year in November with SummerSlam. I mean, well, not with SummerSlam, with Survivor Series. That was the first one that we ever done. Since then, the show has evolved. It's gotten so good. We've added in Lady Great One. Now we've added in Mr. VIP. It's always a fun experience. But in this type of environment, in this type of business, you're always looking to be new and innovative. So just gonna put it out there. We will be doing the last episode of Marking Out Amongst Friends for season one at the end of SummerSlam. We'll do one final recap show after SummerSlam in August, and then we will take a brief hiatus from seasons. We will return once Survivor Series comes back in November for season two. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be doing a lot of new things. Be expecting a lot of new, fun, innovative things in the future. But other than that, that's all I got for you. It's been a good episode. Lady Great One, Mr. VIP, and your boy Jay Reddy. That'll be Marking Out Amongst Friends, and we are out.